The era of Lamborghini's iconic V10 roars is coming to an end, and what's stepping into its place? Something bold, something radical, something reckless. Meet the 2025 Lamborghini Temerario. It's not just a new model, it's a complete departure from everything we've come to expect from the Raging Bull. With its name alone breaking a century-old tradition, the Temerario is here to completely redefine what we know about the Italian supercar maker, to convince everyone that the next-level performance can make up for the sonic compromise. But before we start this hypercar journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the latest reviews of the hottest car models around. 2025 Lamborghini Temerario, breaking with convention. The Huracan is gone after almost a full decade in production, and also going with it are some traditional ways of doing things. First of all, there's the name. For decades, the Italian supercar maker has been naming its models after famous Spanish bulls. It starts with Miura and ends with Huracan because Temerario is not a raging bull. It rather means reckless in Italian, clearly suggesting that some radical changes have come with the new model. And indeed, one look at the engine compartment and things become more than clear. For years, entry-level Lambos have had a V10 tradition with no forced induction. It was all about sonic features and pure driving excitement, but that had to end eventually to keep pace with ever-growing competition. For that reason, the Temerario brought one of the most radical powertrain changes in the company's history. Instead of a naturally aspirated V10, there's a hybrid setup based on a V8 engine. A 4-liter twin-turbo might sound familiar, right? Of course, it's a well-known unit from the Volkswagen Group, but if you feel disappointed now, thinking that a Lambo can't be special with that engine, you are so wrong. The basis of the engine might be the same, but Italian engineers made many modifications to compensate for the lack of cylinders of the previous V10. First of all, compared to the standard variant of the engine with cross-plane cranks, this one is a flat-plane engine, which deletes the need for heavy balance shafts in the engine block. Less mass means less inertia, which allows the engine to spin much faster. So fast that we're talking about one of the highest revving V8s ever, one that revs up to 10,000 RPM, something that the new Z06 or any mid-engine Ferrari can't do. With such an impressive revving potential, as well as a couple of turbochargers, it doesn't surprise that the V8 alone produces 789 horsepower. On top of that come not one or two, but 3 electric motors, 2 at the front axle and 1 slotted between the engine and transmission, which provide an additional 221 pound-feet of torque and raise the max output to 907 horsepower. Altogether, enough for hypercar-level performance, 0 to 60 in just 2.7 seconds at a top speed of 213 miles per hour. Exterior design. Lamborghinis have always been known for their extravagant aesthetics, and the new Temerario is no different. Of course, typical Lambo proportions are there, though the new model looks a little bit less sleek than its predecessor. If we have to put some comparison in the context, let's say that the Temerario is halfway between the Huracan and the Revuelto. Besides the slightly altered profile, you can also notice completely new headlights, even slimmer and highlighted by fancy hexagonal LED running lights on each side of a super aggressive bumper. On the side, the Temerario stands out with a new set of wheels, 20-inch units at the front and 21-inch on the rear axle, both available either with forged aluminum or carbon fiber rims, as well as a new massive aerodynamic vent that, according to the manufacturer, improves downforce by 103% when compared to the Huracan Evo. In a typical Lamborghini fashion, the level of customization is impressive and, among other things, also includes an impressive palette of 400 color options. Theoretically, the new chassis design should bring weight reduction, but that's not the case, because, first of all, the Temerario is bigger than its predecessor in every measurement. The wheelbase goes up to 104.65 inches, while the total length is at 185.28 inches. The new hypercar is 78.6 inches wide and 47.3 inches tall. Add to this electric motor, battery pack, and a few more things, and you get a significant weight difference compared to the Huracan, but in a negative way. The Temerario is good for 3,725 pounds, which would be around 592 pounds more than the Huracan. Clearly, the extra power from the new hybrid powertrain will be more than enough to compensate when it comes to acceleration and straight-line performance, but it is yet to be seen how the extra weight is going to affect track performance. Lamborghini engineers did everything they could to compensate for the added weight. For example, there's a set of massive carbon ceramic rotors with 16.14-inch units at the front and 15.35-inch units on the rear, with the former being equipped with 10-piston monoblock calipers and the latter featuring 4-piston calipers. Moreover, Bridgestone has prepared 3 sets of tires for the new Lambo, starting from the standard Potenza Sport. Then, there are all-weather Blizzak winter tires, and finally, a set of Potenza race rubber for all those focused on making the fastest lap times. Speaking of the track performance, the company brings up another important benefit of the new chassis, a downforce that has been increased by an astonishing 103%. But for all those future owners that worry about the extra weight, a good thing to know is that, with extra cash, the Temerario will be able to lose some weight. Namely, the Legarita lightweight package will be offered with a 55-pound reduction compared to the standard model, mainly due to the carbon fiber rims. Other notable features of this package are unique bumpers, a larger rear wing, and a few more styling bits. In practice, this means even more downforce compared to the standard model, 158% more than the Huracan. And as every pound matters in this world of ultimate performance, Lamborghini offers a way to lose another 4 pounds through the carbon pack, which brings a rear diffuser, mirror caps, and side air intakes made from carbon fiber. Interior design. Of course, the interior is completely new, but before we start with aesthetics, materials, and other features, let's say a few words about probably the biggest benefit of the new chassis. As mentioned, the new model is bigger than the Huracan, and that reflects in more space. According to the manufacturer, headroom has been increased by 1.3 inches, while there's also an extra 1.8 inches of legroom, which promises that even the tallest drivers should be able to fit with ease, even when wearing a helmet. Reckless may be its name, but the other side of Temerario's character is quite practical. For example, it comes with a decent storage unit behind the seats, while the front trunk is good for about 4 cubic feet, plenty enough for a weekend trip. 18-way power-adjustable, heated and ventilated seats guarantee that everyone can find a perfect driving position, feel comfortable, and enjoy the Temerario's attractive interior. Of course, typically for a Lambo, there's a cockpit-like layout with a focus on the driver and a full load of angular shapes and stitching that may take some inspiration from the Revuelto. Leather and other superfine materials form a perfect synergy with the excessive use of carbon fiber and other performance materials, while the Italian automaker also offers optional double-shell carbon fiber seats for an even better experience. Moving to the dashboard, it's hard not to notice a set of 3 screens. The good thing is that none of the 3 is oversized, so the driver can still remain focused on the road. Along with the 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, there's an 8.4-inch center screen and, finally, a 9.1-inch unit for the passenger. The center screen is interesting in particular as it allows occupants to swipe info from their screens, essentially dropping items from one screen to another. Of course, all quintessential modern tech features are there, but Lambo engineers put focus on drive modes, ensuring that the driving experience gets adapted to every situation to the point that things may look a bit complicated at first. First of all, there are base modes, 5 of them: Sita, Strada, Sport, Corsa, and Corsa Plus, with the latter turning off traction control completely. Then, there's the launch control, which is super easy to engage through the dedicated button. Then, there's another set of modes, this time for the hybrid system, which allows you to choose between recharge, hybrid, and performance. At the top of everything, drivers can customize their own drive modes by adjusting hybrid modes, drive modes, and chassis characteristics, all in so many ways that it becomes exhausting even to talk about it. Release date and price. All in all, the all-new 2025 Lamborghini Temerario represents a big technological leap over the Huracan. It may not have as impressive sonic features as its predecessor, but this radically changed V8-powered Lambo is about to set some new standards in the company's entry-level portfolio, with significantly more power and other upgrades we just talked about. And all that will be available pretty soon, considering that the US launch is planned for the end of this year, early 2025 at the latest. Of course, all these upgrades also suggest notable price increases. The officials still haven't come up with figures, but if we consider that the base Huracan is currently priced at around $250,000 and that the hottest variants go for over $350,000, it doesn't come as a surprise that some sources suggest a starting price between $280,000 and $300,000, while the most capable variants are about to cost way more. What do you think about the brand new 2025 Lamborghini Temerario? What are your thoughts on the loss of V10? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.